All right, everyone. Welcome to the live Q&A show. I am tonight Loose Coins with our panel of coin collectors and numisticists that are here to help you with your questions and answers and topics of discussion and just overall a good time. Like to welcome everyone in our panel. Thank you very much for showing up. Everyone up in the chat, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we got what? We got Kevin and JC Wills and the Dragons in the chat. Blue Ridge, Coys, Cindelicious, Z's in the chat. Messiah Heron is joining us tonight. Welcome, everybody.
What's up, Z Squared? Hey, everybody. Good to see you all. And we got a special guest.
Yeah, we do. We got.
Yes.
He is right below me.
Mr. Adam Chambers.
Mr. Chambers.
Welcome. Showing us all up on his cherry picking expertise.
Definitely. Speaking of picking, we're going to pick
hello all.
All right.
So, I guess we'll just go. What's Frank doing?
It's on my screen. Sorry.
I guess we'll just go through the panel. We'll do a brief introductions of ourselves, and then we'll continue on from there. So, Amanda, would you like to start us off, please?
I'm Amanda. My channel name is Coin and Card Hobbyist. I mainly like to collect Washington quarters, and I also am trying to acquire a lot of different world coins. And I'm excited to be on the panel tonight.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mantic Coins. Shay.
Hey, everybody. I'm Shay Hoffmaster, Mantic Coins, and I got a haircut for the show. So, hey, no more hippie. I'm a hippie at heart, so.
I resemble that one, Mark.
So yeah, I had half dollars and Lincoln cents and quarters, and I personally love the 2-cent series and collect those, and just try to have fun. I'm a variety person. I love variety, so I'm always on the lookout for them. And the last year or so, I've been studying errors and getting better and better at that. But it's taking a lot of work, and this show, and this is my passion and joy right here. So glad you all are here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Shay. Jeff Stanley.
You skipped one, but that's okay. My name is Jeff Stanley. I've got a channel, Jeff Stanley Coins and Octane, and my specialty has been Jefferson nickels, but I have branched out into a lot of other series. A couple we're going to talk about tonight, but most notably have been Indian heads. That's a series that I feel like I've gotten a good handle on, that I know an awful lot about. I've been doing a pretty well in, that I'm enjoying.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Carl Seamus.
Hey, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. I'm CMUS Omaha. My real name is Carl, and coins have been a new hobby of mine for the last 2 years. And I currently do coin roll hunting as a way to pass the time. I'm kind of an indoor cat, so this hobby is perfect for me all year round. My favorite is searching BU rolls of Lincoln Memorial cents, searching for varieties and errors. And I'll keep one if I don't have it, and then I'd like to sell the others to find homes for those coins. And I feel like I'm doing the work for others that maybe can't or don't have the time to search, but are interested in collecting the varieties and errors on Lincoln cents. And I dabbled in quarters as well. I view this online community with a lighthearted attitude. I like to make fun and have fun while participating in the educational process, both as a student and like a dysfunctional assistant substitute teacher. I won't pretend to know something if I don't know it. I won't make things up. And I try to ask additional questions about the topics at hand, like in the live stream. Maybe questions someone has but hasn't asked it yet, or things to provoke a little more thought or discussion. I really like to chime in when the topic is something that I have become acquainted with. And right now I'm in the process of training my own replacement, Mr. Adam Chambers.
I missed the memo.
It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful working here. I'll miss you all.
Short, sweet, but not the shortest, Carl.
That's right.
Yes,
Everybody have fun.
Hysterical.
All right, Mr. Dragon, Frank.
Who, me? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's me, Frank, Coin Dragon. I've been collecting on and off for about a quarter century. That's 25 years ago. I'm focusing mostly on airs and varieties. I do like woodies, though. That's kind of my fallen into my lap as kind of a specialty area that I've been looking into. Got the dance school over here, full of them. Let's see, what else? Well, I do have a channel on here I've been maintaining on and off, hoping to change it to do a little bit more on shortly. And I got a cat over here who's driving me nuts, so there's that.
I got one too. She's driving me nuts.
Yeah. And tonight we have Adam Chambers as our special guest tonight. So go ahead,
sir. My name's Adam. I've been collecting coins for over a decade, but I just really started getting into varieties about 3 years ago. And so I really like varieties. I like Lincoln wheat cents. I like going through original Bancroft rolls. I just started cherry picking eBay probably about maybe 8 months ago. And I got really good at it. Cherry pick a lot of Franklin $50 and other stuff that I could see based off the pictures that are provided. So, and I like paranormal stuff, so that's why, you see ghouls after the the coins. So, so that's me.
All right. Thank you very much, Adam. And I am Eric Bartholomew, aka Blues Coins, and your host for tonight's Q&A. And welcome everybody. If you are interested in Q&A merchandise, we do have our shirts and we do have our ball caps. And you could reach us at info@liveqa.com. And it's on the Numis site too, isn't it, Shay? The information?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, I was doing something. I wasn't paying attention.
Is the merch information on the Numis site?
The merch information isn't, but the merch and all that stuff is on livecoinqa.com.
All right, thank you. Yep, I couldn't remember where they could find it, or just a brain fart for that type of moment.
You can read stories about all the panelists and what they have to say. There's a blog that we update. We try to update at least once a month. I think we're a little behind, but we have a little gallery of damage you can look through and compare your coins to, and I have a great list of online references that you can use to find more information about certain coin series, varieties, and whatnot. So check it out.
All right.
Got some great ideas for articles that we're going to write in there. I've got a couple I've been working on.
Yep. All right. It looks like we have about 8 to 10 emails to go through tonight. But before we get to that, we're going to go over our talking subject. And this week we're going to talk about short sets. And what is a short set? If you're like a Lincoln Cent collector, a master set will be considered one of every date and mint mark from 1909 to date. That would be considered a master set. But a short set could be anything from I'm going to collect one of every date in the Denver mint mark only. Or I'm just going to collect 1950 to 1959 Lincoln cents or nickels. That would be considered a short set. And a good example for a short set is like the Whitman trifolders. This is the Whitman number 1, and it's the 1909 to 1940 penny Lincoln cents. So one of these completely filled would be considered a short set because it's not a complete set of the whole series. So we've all done short sets. We're all working on short sets, stuff that we specialize personally in. And I'd like to open it up to the panel for them to talk about the projects that they are working on. Anybody care to go first?
Here's mine.
Quiet.
I don't know how well or how not well this is going to show up on my camera, but this would be the beginning of my short set here. Yeah, it's not going to focus on anything, but they're all woodies to some degree or another. No, that is not an SVDB. That is just a placeholder. Perhaps the second page will give you a little more idea, but the improper alloy mix, to tell you the God's honest truth, it was our beloved Professor Peavy that got me started getting interested in them, because even though every coin inherently is going to be different from another one, these are a little bit special. They've got character to them and got a little bit more meat, I guess you could say, to them. They come in all kinds of different flavors. Some have got more tin, some have got more copper. There's what I and someone else like to call albino woodies, which seem to be mostly tin and just streaks of copper in them. Kind of like a reverse contrast. But I have been so far pretty fortunate. There's a few dates that seem to be pretty stubborn as far as like coughing up woodies.
What's the newest one you have, Frank? What is the most modern one?
The most modern one I have is a 1955S.
Is there a point to where you stop looking for woodies? Is it
After 62.
62? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Wanda, did you? Oh, awesome. Let's see if I can get that really high contrast one right there.
I've noticed you could really find 54S and 55S and woodies.
Yeah.
For some reason, those 2 years are really, they didn't have their game on there.
Amazing color contrast on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of purples and blues. And
I like toners too. That's my thing. I love toners.
So does Linda too. She loves toners. I'm going to get another book for her so she can collect some toners. But that's my short set anyway.
Thank you, Frank. Anybody else want to jump in?
I've got one, Eric. I'm going to share my screen with some photos here in a second.
All right. We're going to have Carl come up, and he's going to be giving us his what he's working on. And, let's see. I add that to the stream. Click a button.
Nothing
click the
showed up,
button.
did it? I'm going to stop sharing. Stop sharing and try again.
Yeah. Sometimes the internet or computer just will not cooperate at the given point in time that it needs to.
Here we go. I found one of these. Dansko albums. It's number 7096. And they're out of print, but you can find them every once in a while online. I think I've got about 5 of these and gave one away in the big show and not filled at all. But these are a nice short set. It's a 2-page of the Bicentennial coinage, clad proofs, silver proof, and the $50.
Oh, interesting.
And you got BU silver and proof silver. And then you've got the Eisenhower dollars as well. Now, I took 2 albums and made the 2-page album into 4. Because in order to have a complete set that includes type 1 and type 2 Eisenhower dollars, you'd have to get 2 albums and combine them together. So there is some duplication in here just to get the type 1 and type 2 reverses on the Eisenhower dollar. Now, after that, I got into a Bicentennial craze and started collecting these painted Bicentennials, the gold-plated ones, and then these black and gold. I can't remember what the black metal is. Say it again.
Bicentennial.
Yeah. So I've got an album of the Bicentennial folder that I fill with a quarter page and a $50 page. It's got the 2 medals here, painted Ikes, gold-plated Kennedys, or painted Kennedys. And those were just kind of fun to come across on eBay. They don't cost very much. And it's something on the side. When I've got a few extra bucks, I'll go fill in some of those. And here's the $50. And the colored Ikes. And then some of them are painted differently.
That's cool.
See the difference in those. So I'm always looking for something that's painted different than the ones I have, but it's not a constant hunt. It's a bored at night. What should I go shopping for? And I'll go looking for those.
Really cool.
All right.
Different. And it's not, I mean, once you get Bicentennials, it's kind of like, wow, that was fast. But now you're getting the painted ones too. That's really cool. Yeah,
and to fill the Ike 2-page Bicentennial book is only like $32 to get a mint set, to get your quarters and halves and your Ikes, and then a proof set, and then to find the silver coin set in proof and BU. And so it's an inexpensive one to put together.
That'll definitely get your appetite going.
Yeah, I couldn't stop.
All right, very cool, Carl. Thank you for sharing that, and what a great set to put together. Jeff?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go. Like Frank, I got sucked in by Ken Peavy on the Woody set, only I built mine in a Intercept Shield album, which is very similar to the Dansko. And there's mine. I've taken some inspiration, of course, from Frank and some advisement from Frank on building these. I've competed with Frank on some auctions, I think. I guarantee that. But yeah, that's kind of the same deal. That's my Woody set.
Good.
And that's been I've filled that up in about a year, and I've come across some really, really, really nice issues of that. The other thing I've been working on, and some of y'all have heard me talk about these before, some of y'all probably have not, has been Liberty Standing Quarters, specifically the E-Clash. Make sure that shows.
I love that one you sent.
Oh, yeah, I sent you, that was a RPM.
Yeah, I don't have any SLQs either, man. That's cool.
Yeah, that's this is what they call an E-Clash. Essentially, it's just just like a standard clash, like any other die clash, whatever you get. Only this one is centered. Kind of drill down here. You can see the letter E from the reverse, and this one actually has some outline of the letter M. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to at least get a year run of every year. Any of these I can find that I don't have, I want to collect those and put them in a book. This is my 1923. That's one of my better ones. And it's, you go out there and you find them. Some of them are actually considered cherry picker varieties. Some of them are not. This one is not.
This one's great too.
And this is what it's clashed with. This is the E, right, that shows up next to the knee. And here's that part of the M.
I thought about cherry picking some of those varieties.
Yeah, they're
those clashed.
I've found a couple of those. I've managed to find a couple of those fairly inexpensively. This is a up close view of it. This coin actually is not a bad grade considering the year 23. But yeah, you can see the E right there. You can see the M. It disappears into the fold, but then it shows back up. Some of them are really pronounced where you can see the lettering over here on the other side. This one has a little bit of a letter that you can see some more of the motto in the back, the S specifically. But yeah, this is going to be a fun set. I've got a couple that are inbound that I'm waiting to show up that I actually cherry picked a week or so ago. And then, hopefully I'll be able to find the whole series. I'm not going to be able to probably finish the Standing Liberty quarters. Certainly not in the E-Clashes, but I'm not going to be able to finish, the series because a couple of them are just cost prohibitive. The 21 is very expensive and a readable date. And the 16, of course, is the key to the series. That's a 4-figure, 5-figure coin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Standing Liberties, I mean, yeah, I do. I look for those on eBay myself, trying to find some really nice examples of that just for my own personal collection. And they're out there.
Yeah.
I like them when they have that E-Clash on them, but then right above the right shoulder, you'll see the outline of one of the stars poking up.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, I believe that variety is one of the cherry pickers varieties where they have the right star above the right shoulder. You'll see remnants of one of the stars poking through, and that's a really nice example of one. Amanda?
Yeah, I'm not currently working on any short sets right now, but I did finish a Roosevelt dime album where you only have to put one from each year in it.
Nice. Very cool.
And I would kind of like to put together some short sets of the W quarters.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great short set to put together. W! All right. Before we go on to Adam, I'm going to throw this out in chat. Anybody in the chat working on short sets, go ahead and post what you're working on, so we can kind of see what people are working on and people are doing.
You want me to go over mine?
Shay, are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
And we can throw up their sets too. All righty. Let's do this. All right. So I have a couple of different approaches to throw at you guys. Some things for you to think about. Maybe it'll get those creative juices going. So one of the short sets that I think about, I'm in Texas. So the Texas bulk size approach, all right, Texas size approach. And that if you go get some modern US mint sets, let's say a decade at a time, just the 2000 and 2010 series, you can get over 260 coins out of those 10 sets. And they're fairly affordable, you know, 15 to 35 bucks. And so in the affordable range, and you get a whole lot of coins and a whole lot of collection all at once. And this kind of lets you feel out different types of different series, right? Different modern coins to see if you have any interest in them whatsoever. And then I'm going to go to the opposite end of the spectrum here and go to the Flying Eagle series. It's 3 coins. All right. And so 56, 57, 58. Yeah. And then you can move on into other varieties because there's lots of different varieties, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. How about the 2-cent series? There's 10 coins in that series just for the dates. And then you can spread out, and there's design varieties that you can add and layer in. And that makes 16. And then, of course, there could be literally over 70, 80 different varieties if you include repunch dates and misplaced dates and other interesting clashes and whatnot. It's a really interesting series. It's why it's one of my favorites. And then let's see. Oh, 2009 Bicentennial Lincoln Cents. So we all know that there were 4 different coins reverses on the Lincoln Cent for the 2009. Birth and early childhood, formative years, professional life, and the presidency. And then each of those, there's 5 different versions of it. So you have the different mints, and you also have the different metal content. So you have a zinc, Philadelphia and Denver. You have copper, satin, Philadelphia and Denver, and you have copper from the proof set. So all together, you got 20 coins. It's a nice short set. And so let's see what's next. Franklin. So it's a relatively short series, 35 coins. You could limit that down if you wanted to do the Bugs Bunny series. It's all the ones with the clash of the eagle under his nose or in this area. Those are some pretty cool sets. And then last but not least, I want to talk about the layered approach. So I always try to tell people getting into the hobby, take things small, right? Start at the very first tier where you might do a short set, or you might do P and D of a certain series, see if you like it, add proofs later. So sometimes it's San Francisco, sometimes it's just proofs from Philly. Depends on the series. Fill out the design varieties. So learn and study all the design varieties, like, small date, large date, different mint marks, different design changes over the years. And that will continue to add depth to your collection. And then, maybe you'll add some main varieties, like do DDO1, DDR1, or RPM1 from every date. That now you're really building depth. And then extended, this is how crazy I am. I like to try to get every variety in the entire series. So it's a lifetime thing. If I love the series that much, that's what I want to do. I know I'm going to spend the next 20 years doing it. I have the time, and I just need to put in the effort and keep track of it all. And then add some errors to make it even more. Now, somebody looks at a Lincoln Cent, let's say the memorials, there's over 3,500 varieties in that series alone. And that's not even including the errors and all the different identified clashes and cuds and retained cuds and interior die bricks and
Floating roofs.
yeah, all the different things that you had to even include that stuff. So, I hope that maybe this stuff has given you guys some ideas on how you might want to go about collecting. It's your bag, baby. You do what you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. These are just ideas to think about. So just have fun doing it. That's the most important thing. So there you go.
All right. Thank you, Shay.
Oh, good job.
And I think Mr. Adam sitting in the Alice position of the Brady Bunch panel.
I've been kind of working on like the Benjis, doing like the Bugs Bunny. I really just started, so I'm not really. I don't have near all of them yet, but I've been working on getting some nice high grade ones, and I cherry pick them all off eBay. So, which is probably the best way to do it, save you some money, because there's so many unattributed varieties on eBay. It's crazy. And I do like a lot of wheat scents. I've been kind of, I guess I grade all my wheat scents. So I pretty much have everything from 1940 all the way up to 1958 in mid-state 66 red, which is pretty good. So I guess you can consider that kind of a short set because it's not the whole series. So.
Yeah, that brings up a good point. You could put a set together that's in high grade. Instead of just having one of each, I'm trying to get one of each in MS66. So I like that idea.
Type sets are fun too. I'm thinking about doing that.
All right.
Shay made me think of another short set. I sent a share screen here. He mentions large and small dates. And this is the 1974 large and small date set that I've put together from BU rolls. I think I put 3 of these together, picked out the best samples of them. And so here's the 74P small date, D small date, and the S business strike small date. I don't have any proofs. That would be another addition to a set like this. But here's the BU business strike, large date, Philly, Denver, and S mint mark. And then there's pictures on the back of those to show what they are, so you don't have to look through a loop or under a magnifier to see what you're looking for. So I put together like 3 of those of the best coins that I could find.
Oh, very nice.
I like it.
That's it.
Yep. And look like Jeff decided to come back and join us for a little longer.
Of course.
Yep.
Moving some stuff around, clicked on the wrong thing again.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, I did want to comment on Carl. Carl had showed me those this afternoon before the show. And I do that too. That is very satisfying to see that somebody else does that stuff too. It's OCD in me. I love it.
Yeah. Would like to take this opportunity to basically give a shout out to the live Q&A YouTube channel here. If you are not a subscriber yet, please subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button for us. It helps with our numbers. We are getting close to reaching that 1,000 sub mark, and we'd like to get over that hump here real shortly. And don't forget to come see us on Facebook page. What is our Facebook page? Coin Q&A on Facebook. There's too many Facebook pages. I can't keep up with them all. All right. Anybody got any comments before we get to the question and answer section of our emails? I guess not.
Hey, Ann had a question. Speaking of which, which is the better third-party grading for memorials? Is there any particular grading service that I mean, I don't know the answer to this. I don't think there is an answer.
No, unless it's a variety. I mean, really, Annex is the best for varieties.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that.
Don't put the most listings on their labels yet.
James Eubanks asked if anybody collects the Shield scent. I would love to, and I have a few, but I'm working on the 2 cents, which is a similar design, and it's a little shorter. But yeah, I like those as well. Shield scent.
Oh, I thought you meant like modern Shield.
Oh, Shield scent. Yeah, I was thinking of Shield Nichols. Rainforest. So Shield scent. Yeah, there are folks.
Rhodes. He likes those.
Chris Hurley. Yeah, those guys. I have a set. I'm working on a set, so I do like them.
I cheated and bought mint sets, filled albums with.
Yeah, I do have
the Shield since they came out.
Yep. I did that too. Now I'm on to the varieties, and they're all class 9 varieties, so it's kind of different, right? It's you get to and I challenge you guys to learn. If you learn the minting process and you learn about different dye varieties and how like double dyes can be made in that process. When you start learning that, you learn that there's different classes of those double dyes, and you learn that if you can figure out and look at a coin and look at the doubling and determine what class of doubling it is, you are on your way to becoming a master in this method. So.
Yeah, the Duke Ellington quarters are always a favorite, Perry. I don't know what it is, but I like those.
Yeah.
I always get excited when I find one.
That DDR one is tough.
and it's huge.
2050. Oh.
I found one of those. It was a beginner's luck, I was told.
Wow.
Guys have been searching for those for 10 years, and then I come in as the new guy and stumble across one, and
of course.
So I said, I'm sorry.
All I got was the clash. I got fooled by the clash on the Ellington, right? Because there's that one or a couple of clashes in that area, and they're not the doubling. And we've had a couple on the show that way too.
Yeah, those can make your heart stop for a second or two.
Yeah. But don't forget, they got them all the way up the arm and in the hand and other places other than just the keys on the piano. There's some other interesting.
And Perry mentioned just the 2009s in general are just our nice collection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, isn't there like 180 different finger placements that are available?
Wow.
For the penny, yeah.
Oh, on the 2009, that and the log cabin.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the 2009 quarters.
Together, man. That's kudos. That'd be a tough set to put together.
Yeah, and those quarters, a lot of the America the Beautiful and States quarters have tons of different varieties. Those as well. Those are cool. Kevin's in Godly Rust quarter, the Kansas. Worth anything if you can faintly see the T? Sure.
Oh, yeah. Another great example.
I think those are all, the grease and the grease-filled dye, the coins struck from a grease-filled dye, struck through grease, and then also the abraded devices on coins and whatnot. Those are different, different types of errors that you can find in your coins, and they're a little bit more common than some of the other double dies and whatnot and RPMs, but they're fun to find, and they add an element of excitement to your coin roll hunting. So keep an eye out for them.
Another one would be counter-stamped pennies, either with the states on them or Kennedy, or I've got a Batman one. I'll show that here in a second on my avatar. And then there's USA. There's Masons. I've seen one on Facebook that was the nativity scene, and so that was kind of neat.
Paula likes those flattened pennies that you can get at amusement parks and stuff.
Oh, the elongated.
The elongated pennies, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they always make me so nervous.
I changed my avatar to the Batman one, and
There it is.
that was one of the first ones I found. It's even my birth year, 1963D.
Awesome.
Yeah. Not that we need to be showing your age or anything.
I find a lot of people. I hear a lot of people at shows and what they're asking the dealers, and all I hear all day long at the shows. I need this year's set for my grandbaby, and they're buying different years for each of their kids' birth sets. So it's another way to do it, and so many possibilities in this hobby.
Another short set I started was Silver Eagles, starting with the birth year of my grandson, and put a set together with him that was starting in 2006. Just a Philly, one for each year.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about doing? I thought about doing like commemoratives, the more modern commemoratives, and put them like in a Whitman, and then just let them sit for years and let them tone, and then see what happens.
They don't die Stone Mountain. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, nice, Cindy.
Are we ready for some pictures and questions?
Yeah, let's do it. You ready,
Yep.
Amanda?
Ooh, 46.
Look at that. She is on the money. All right, I can read this one. Crispy Mofo 1776, 2021 P. Jefferson nickel. Hello, everyone. I was just searching a new roll of 2021 P nickels and came across this. Is this a die clash? And what are the next steps to take with it? Thank you for all you do for us coinaholics. Well, thank you, Crispy Mofo, for sending your coin in. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. Right around the C and the I and the C. That's not normal.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't call it a clash, though. Looks more like maybe die chip, die break, or gouge. What do y'all think?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. God, look at it. That thing is pronounced.
Well, it looks more like a G.
Yeah.
Yeah, America.
America. Sounds like a new car.
Stop
I need
staring.
a credit for America.
Too bad Paula in here. She'd be creeped out by that one.
Oh, stop staring at me. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's,
Yeah, it looks like a die gouge to me.
yeah, that's what that looks like.
Exactly.
There's another one by the RO. Now that I see arrows there, look at that. Nicely done, Crispy Mofo.
Interesting, dude.
Looks like a little chip down there next to the rim.
Could such a die gouge like that progress over time and maybe see a progression in that area? Keeping a lookout for those.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Well, I would think that die chips and die breaks would progress, but I'm not so sure about a gouge.
They don't get smaller. That's for sure.
They don't. I guess as that metal fills those voids, that it wears away the edge, and sure, it would get bigger. Yeah.
That's true. It could get smaller.
It's not a common place for a die chip. Usually, your place for die chips on Jefferson nickels are going to be what looks like a beehive on the left or the right side of the building. Sometimes up there at on the near the balconies, you'll see it. That's a pretty uncommon place to see.
Like something dropped on the bag.
Yeah.
Some kind of attrition. Doesn't change much in 400 coins.
Wow, 400.
That's a good sample, buddy.
That's pretty good. Well, let's see. How many were minute? Anybody have? I don't know if we have.
Wait, what date?
Billions.
What, 2021? I don't think
that's not going to be out yet.
Yeah.
Were there
They're
any
3 or 4 years behind minting 2019 numbers, so we might not ever find out numbers for that for another 3 or 4 years.
So I know typical, one single die, typical number of coins in the Kennedy series could be 250,000 to 500,000 coins. Does anybody know how many are typical for the modern Jefferson series?
Die life?
I do not know.
I guess I could check Marine.
The only thing I do know is that the Mint, they did up production in 2020 and 2021, like 17%.
Blue has the number.
2 quadrillions, right?
It's a Google.
You forgot to the second power there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many.
Too many.
1,000 million, million, trillion, quadrillion. Yes.
I like how we got it down to 310.
Crispy Mofo wants every single one from a single die. So
there you go. All 500K.
Is Crispy Mofo saying that he's found 400 of these? And
yeah, he did.
I really hope there were some double die reverse, something over the doorway mixed in there. That would be a hard
a double, something crazy.
That'd be a hard box to go through, unless I had something interesting to.
Oh, I know. It's like going through a new shield roll.
Yeah, well, just going through a whole box of the same date sometimes is hard to go through. After the 10th coin, you're like, oh God, it's the same one over and over and over again.
I have some information from Mr. Breen, and 50 nickels today are struck at 55 tons force, 120 per minute, and average die life has been boosted to above 300,000 impressions.
Oh, excellent info.
So you got 299,600 to go, Crispy Mofo.
Yep.
And you can corner the market on those.
I wish it was a clash, Crispy Mofo. I'm sure that you were wishing it was a clash too, to have 400 of them.
Yeah.
It's a clash. A clash in the crack. Okay, I'll shut up.
All right. Well, I think we beat that one up. Not very nice, Crispy Mofo. Thank you for sending that in.
All right, we got one from Kevin. Nonsense is no sense, and it's in reference to a full stoop. Okay, I have this 1987 Jefferson nickel with full steps. I'm curious as to what is the cutoff for full steps being a big deal or not. And sorry for the cello, as I have not opened the mint set. I like to turn this over to our resident coin person, Mr. Jeff.
Looks full steps to me.
Well, I know these.
Looks full steps to me.
Yep. Go in just a little bit. I was not 100% convinced on this one.
Oh, I see
And
what you're saying.
I got to be, I have to be really, I've graded enough of these, and I've gotten stung on grading some of these enough to know kind of, what they're looking for. It is a good nickel. I mean, has some nice, clean looking steps, except for that very last one. What they're going to want to see is that last step as being complete. It looks just a little bit weak there. That bottom channel right there it's got some weak points in it, and that may disqualify it. It's at least 5 steps. So if you send it into NGC, you'll get 5 steps. There's no marks or anything interrupting the steps or the channels or whatever. But it looks, the rest of it looks, now any other date, other dates are like 50s, 60s or whatever, that would probably come back as full steps. Because they do kind of throw some weight and some consideration for different years. 87, it's a little iffy. You'd be kind of taking a chance. You might be pleasantly surprised. They may throw a full step designation on that. But really, what they're looking for, particularly the more modern you get, is just it has to be clean. That last channel right there, that bottom channel, excuse me, below the above that last piece that looks like a step, and the step above it just looks a little weak. It might be the lighting. You might go through it with a loop and see, that channel's complete. And but that's kind of my take on that.
I see some vertical impressions on the left-hand side there. Is that worrisome at all? There's 2 of them. There's one that's vertical.
Yeah, a couple little. You can have marks that can actually span all the steps, as long as that mark does not reach the depth of the established step channels. That's the little valley in between the steps.
Okay.
Then that will not disqualify it. That's kind of the take on the mark. When you see marks on steps, there's some people that'll say they're not going to full step it if there's a single mark. It's not necessarily true. It's the depth of the mark that counts.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
That stuff can be tricky. Like
Yeah.
I said, you can spend money on it, and if you're not careful.
Yeah, I've seen last 3 or 4 weeks, there's actually been the talk about the full steps. Is this full step? This isn't, and stuff like that. So that's good information, Jeff. It's remarkable. Just one little mark at the depth of the channel will disqualify it, even though the rest of the coin is just so clean and the steps are just so nice looking.
Right.
The out of 99 has a question for you.
But throw this coin back in the 1960s or 1940s or 50s, full steps all day long. They throw a little bit of that weight on certain years, certain periods.
Kind of like a curve.
So is there an extra fee?
It's automatic. It's no extra fee.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the grade. It's kind of like red, brown, or brown.
The full
Adam's
torch.
right. Yep. Yeah, so it's not considered a variety. It's considered part of the grade.
Yeah, good points, guys.
Full split band.
That's an excellent question. That's
The only thing that you pay extra for is if you send it bulk, then you do pay extra fee for the full steps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Oh, really? I didn't know
What's
that.
the minimum to be considered bulk?
100 coins.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. Just
I mean, I go through a bunch of OVW rolls, so I just take a bunch and put them all together, and
yeah.
you know.
Here's my 2 coins for grade. Here's my 2 rolls of coins for grading and the deed to my house.
Let them sort it out.
Adam,
Terrible.
Adam, when you send in bulk, do they have to be all the same denomination coin?
It depends on what grading company. NGC, you can send in a mixture. So like if you send in wheat cents, you can send in 1935, 1958. It doesn't matter. You can send them all in. But PCGS, I think they only limit you to like 4 different dates and mints.
Oh, wow.
What
Yeah.
about denomination? Can you send in a mix of pennies and nickels?
You could do 100 pennies, but it'd have to be on a separate invoice. And
You can't send a bulk order for 50 pennies and 50 nickels.
No.
Huh. Hey, I encourage you guys to download those forms and take a look at the fees.
Doing bulk does save you a bunch of money. Because you pay for like a Mint State 66 minimum grade, you pay $10 a coin to start out. But then they kind of lower you down to like $7 a coin if you do it enough.
I think for maybe 80% of the folks out there who ask the question, should I get this graded? Just download those forms and read through it first.
Yeah.
And that'll convince you whether you should.
Start adding those fees. I mean the $10,
shipping,
handling,
all that stuff. Yeah.
That's what gets you. You want to probably save up until you probably have 5 coins that you're willing to submit spread out.
And if you can save up your money and go to like a show, you could take your coins to the show and save yourself some shipping cost.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite to do with Annex. Yeah.
Excellent.
Wait for their different discounts they have, 12 for the price of 10 and stuff like that. $10, $100, $120, and then another $9 per variety. Something $8 or $9. I can't remember.
I am seriously considering taking that 84 that I found. If anything, for preservation's sake.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
It's important not to bust your budget for the next few years or go in debt doing this, but start small.
Yeah. Remember the grading is
to backfire in your face. It does happen. Especially when you start out, you'll get those grades that you're like, what? And you scratch your head, but it happens.
Yeah. Well, consider grading an advanced skill for sure.
But it's one we all can learn to do. That's the great thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've been collecting coins for 4 years, and I do not have anything in my collection that I feel is worthy enough to send in for grading, just because I just don't think it's just going to make it.
Maybe that 09 VDB I have too.
So it is an art form. As Ken Peavy always said, if you have to ask if this needs to be graded, then the answer is no, because you don't have the knowledge and the experience to make that determination yourself.
Wow.
Oh, one, I would. There's not a roll that would survive my office ever. I gotta open it. I gotta see what's inside. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Question.
And it's funny, Shay, because I got rolls and I'm afraid to open because I know the roll is worth more sealed than it is opened.
Well, I bought a lottery ticket, so I'm that dumb.
Yeah, I haven't checked my numbers yet. I could actually win $2.
Well, I mean, like instead of going down and buying a frappuccino or a lottery ticket, I just spend a few bucks on a coin roll and open it up.
Ida Herring had a question. She says, "Hey guys, if you send in a Morgan for grading, for example, can you send it in a capsule?"
No,
and they don't like those.
I think they want 2x2 flips.
Yeah, it's gotta be 2.5. Yeah.
Even a 2.5 by 2.5 flip is what I think both of the big ones prefer. Yeah. They don't want to have to try to pry open a capsule.
From what I hear.
Yep.
Now you can send in like a mint set, I think, like in the cellophane, but I think with the intention you want it,
That brings up a good point. If there is a coin inside of a mint set or a proof set that you want graded, send the whole set in and tell them I want this one graded. They will send back the other coins to you with the package. Let them break it open.
Yep. For a fee, there is a fee for the return mint mint packaging. It's small. It's not a big deal. It's a couple bucks.
Yeah, fee for everything.
But let them break it open. There was actually, what was that mint set that had the no S?
It was,
on it?
Yeah. Was it 90 no S? Or?
Oh, the 90, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the diamond 82.
Yeah, they broke open a set and sent that one coin in, and they should have sent the whole set in. Then the other coins will follow that grading and get returned to you.
That's just it, community. It's all about trust.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
We got the next one, Amanda.
Man, Amanda's just on point. I'll read this one, guys. From Philip Cash regarding 2021 P quarter. I found two 2021 P quarters that have some extra material on his flight helmet. I sent it to Variety Vista, but he wanted me to join some message board and post there. Not interested in joining another group. Don't blame you. Here's the best picks I can get. What's the best route for me to go? Not asking for you to evaluate. And thank you for your time. And thank you for yours. Cool design. It just is.
Yeah.
Kind of remind me of Conehead. Second pair.
Wow, look at that.
They're right above the goggles and the word war. Yeah. That does not belong.
I think Blue Ridge had one of these the other day. He was sharing on his pocket change money report.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. His market report. Yep. Right. I think that might be why we got one.
Look at that. Wow.
Looks like he's got a
it's a decent sized chip.
It's a man bun behind his helmet.
It's a man bun, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, come
Well,
on.
I was thinking Coneheads, but it's more like specific.
It's that one too.
It almost looks like his hair a little bit or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool emoji. Very cool chip, though.
Yeah. Collect the progression, especially if you got a number of rolls in a box, and you can probably find them, like we were talking about earlier with the progressions.
Yep. Blue Ridge chimed in. Very cool. Yep, and one answer.
Yeah.
That, like I said, it kind of resembles the poop emoji too. If you tilt your head sideways. I'll be quiet.
Oh, sorry. I had to reload the stream. We put that back on big again.
I have one with a smaller cud, same place. Interesting. Yes, well, a part of the Princess Leia. Smaller cud. Does it go to the rim? Like, because that is a cud.
Yeah, the cud, Jason, would be along the rim because it's a piece of the die is breaking off on the rim. So cud is always on the rim rather than something in the interior of the die that is chipped off or broken off. Cud can be retained or it can completely fall out, and it's a bit of the die that covers the face and the edge, and it falls out sometime during the process of striking. And so the coins just fill that void with a blob all the way from edge to edge. So it's usually in some sort of shape of that break. So that's why you call those cuds, and these interior die breaks or die chips. All right. You want to load the next one, Amina?
I'll read this one. From Ida Herring, a 1960D buy. Hello, panel. Thought some of the coin folks might like to see this. This gives me a whole new meaning to buy. Update. She ended up finding 4 of them in the roll.
Of course. Booyah.
Look at that.
I'd buy that buy.
It's a good one. The reason they call this buy is it looks like there's another letter in between the B and the E in Liberty because of a die chip.
Got filled there and filled B too.
Yeah.
What date is this?
60D, I think.
Okay.
If I unmute my mic, then y'all could hear what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, sorry. There was a bunch of noise coming from while you were away, so I muted it.
Sorry.
It's all right.
The BIEs, I really like them. I'm actually trying to get a set because they could be found with LII, IIB, EIR. So that die chip will generate across the letters, but the BIE is the most common to be found. But they can be found in between each of the letters of on Liberty.
You know, it's interesting is Paula got me this book by Cohen for the classification and value of errors on the Lincoln cent. And there's literally over 100 pages of different buy on the Lincoln cent. And it's awesome. It's awesome. And then, which side is it? Is it Cuds on Coins that has the whole classification system for buy listed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Crazy. Yeah.
They get deep into it, and it's like, oh, ouch.
Yeah. They're kind of like going after the measurement. You know, does it go above the letters B and E? Does it go below? Does it go both above and below? Is it halfway, a quarter? You know, it's kind of interesting.
Sometimes you get those what they call sausage buys, which are really fat.
The 1955 S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
54 is also common on that.
And
95 says the LIIBIEs too.
There's someone very special in chat who sent me some of those, and they are awesome.
You can get them on the steel cents too, which is kind of odd, but
Well, those guys are just saying, help me. Don't like this alloy.
You know, these can also be interesting markers for other varieties. So I know some of those 55S, like the sausage buy, actually goes with a particular RPM in that.
Yeah, that's correct.
I need to quit muting my mic because I'm just blabbering over here and no one can hear me. Something about clicking buttons and I'm just unclicking them.
Please leave out.
Amanda, did she send another one?
95? Yeah, Comanche. It's fine.
I just had the pictures of the two.
Oh, okay. Very nice, Ida.
you found your nest on.
You know,
that's
there
how
are-
I do that bag of wheat cents I just went through and been gone through. It was probably about 2,000 wheat cents and not a single buy was found in there. I found a few RPMs and some DDOs and DDRs that they missed that were minor, but I'm pretty sure it was picked through. No buys to be found.
You know, there's other things other than the buys. There's other anomalies, interesting things that the die chips, interesting placement, like around the bow tie on some years. You got the R cent where the 1 and the date looks like an R. You've got connectors where the date and the mint mark are connected, or the dates are connected in some way, or the letters in God We Trust are connected. You know, there are all sorts of cool things to sort of classify where that die chip is and look into it if you're interested in that sort of thing. We need some more folks in the hobby that are interested in cataloging and evaluating those different types of chips on series. So the Lincoln Cent has pretty much been exhaustively researched, although there's still a lot of room. But I don't think anybody's done anything similar for the quarters, dimes, nickels. I mean, other than, say, cuts on coins may have quite a few, but probably not exhaustive. Who wants to read this?
I think we'll let Carl do this one.
Does that look blurry to anybody else besides me?
It has.
It's a little blurry.
Yeah, there's probably some issues with YouTube and probably internet overall, where everything looks just a little.
If you squint, it kind
Oh,
of.
There we
it
go.
cleared up. It cleared up. Well,
Yeah, we tried. I think CMUS was using a fuzzy font. It says 1983 Lincoln Memorial Cent. Abe has a John Adams apple. Good evening, panel, and hello, Carl. Welcome, Adam Chambers. In my process of continued learning, I'm submitting this anomaly on the obverse of this 1983 Lincoln Memorial Cent. I am leaning towards this being some kind of plating issue, but wanted to get some confirmation on it. There are blemishes on the front of and the back of Lincoln's throat and neck, respectively. They are just slightly raised, but appear almost flat under my 16X loop. There is a weak area along the front of the Lincoln's vest and a hint of a die clash east of the date. And I did all that with one hand over my left eye. Now I'm going to switch and do it with the right.
Indirectly. Ooh, my
Time for Lincoln to see the doctor.
That's a quarter.
There's something wrong with the stream. My pictures aren't that fuzzy.
Looks like he's got one of them frog pouches there.
No, like I said, there's probably some streaming issues going on with the internet, and everything's just not coming through real good right now. Please bear with us as we just kind of work through this problem.
Now, did you press on those at all to verify they're not bubbles? Just curious.
I told you it's embarrassing to go pressing on things like that.
Send it to Dr. Pimple Popper and see what happens.
I can do it while you guys are chatting about that, but I'm going to turn my mic off.
Yeah. So what I'm talking about would be like big plating blisters, because this is 1983 was the first full year where zinc was used and and so a lot of times you'll find these plating blisters, and you'll find you'll find them actually opened up and the zinc oxide showing through where the oxygen is hit, and it's you can also get linear plating blisters and all sorts of other things. And so I don't know how many times it took Ken asking me the same question when I would show him stuff. And he'd ask me, did I push on it with a toothpick? Because if it's a bubble and you can push on it, then it's not, But this doesn't look like that. This looks like Clash City.
I started pushing on a 69S. Now I've ruined it. I chose the wrong coin.
I'm talking about Zca's, not the cover.
I did put this up on the denominational overlays, and I am not finding any type of match where this could be a clash showing those two areas being pronounced of showing up.
That last picture kind of looked like columns over on the backside there, but that wasn't the case, huh?
No, it's the denominational overlays did not line up with anything. Even if you just kind of eyed a rotational.
They do shit all over them too. I've seen them all the way down his back before. And it was crazy.
I'm kind of leaning towards zinc bubbles on it.
I'm leaning towards you got a combination of both.
Because if you look underneath the chin down to the date on that last picture, you can actually see little bubbles, little marks that will kind of look like more linear plate bubbles that are being formed.
I tried pushing on them with a toothpick, Shay, and they're so flat that you're not going to see much of a difference. There's very little texture to them, just visual.
Look at there, on the inside of his neck too. You can see that vertical line coming down out of his beard.
Yeah, looks like a column, doesn't it?
That is a clash.
I got better results out of a screwdriver.
Do you think it's a combination?
Yes, because you can see minor plating blisters all over the place. I mean, it looks like pizza face.
Yeah, maybe that's the planner. I don't know, coming out from.
Go down by the date. Choose a different selection and look by the date. There's a horizontal line east of the one.
And that's typical on those flashes as well. You get the top of the.
Right underneath the neck there, that turkey thing. That's
I'm thinking.
On a serious note, I'm going to post a link to the denominational overlays when you're looking at clashes. This is the best source to go and look for what if you see something that looks like a clash where it might be what it might be clashed with on the reverse or obverse.
And then it's weak right on the front of the vest too. If the streaming was a lot clearer, it would show a better picture of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to have clash on the device, though, right?
Yeah, that under his neck is something else.
Yeah.
Probably related though, and that is a very typical clash.
So is it a combination, plate blistering, or a clash on a plate blistering coin or planchet?
That could very possibly be true. It does have the signs of being a clash, but also has the signs of what could be considered plate blistering on it. So it might be a dual effect thing, kind of giving us the impression that it's one thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like it, and just put it away. Maybe some other answers will show up later down the road from maybe some of the resident experts like Mike Diamond or something, or Pete Apple might have some thoughts on it down the road, that if more of them are being found and people are asking questions about.
It'll be the first thing I look up in Joe Cronin's new book.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting it. Apparently, I think it's in my mailbox. Actually, I'm hoping it's in my mailbox.
You still haven't checked your mail?
No, I did. I just hadn't received it, but I did get a package today, so I don't know which one it is. I like to wait and see and surprise myself, even though I have tracking numbers.
Yeah. I'm always afraid to check my mailbox because I'm afraid there's going to be a bill in there.
Thanks for checking out my coin.
Oh,
Yes, that's a very interesting.
yeah, it is.
It is.
Love it.
Oh, and look at that.
I think we should.
What do you know?
All right.
Guess who gets to read?
I get to read my own?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's how it works.
Yeah. What's
So
up,
it-
Coin Docs? Get to cherry picking off eBay, and you can still find unattributed valuable varieties. I concentrate my focus on Franklin half dollars because they aren't as loved as some other denominations. That also means a higher chance of finding nice varieties. Take a look. 1954 S FS 401 Bugs Bunny and a 1954 FS 401 Bugs Bunny.
Look at it. Adam gets the goods.
Have a good night, Scott.
Adam
Yeah.
makes it impossible for me to cherry pick off of eBay because
I thought I was doing good.
he's grabbing everything up before I can get to him.
Finding like 17 double verses and stuff like that. But man, just Adam's rolls.
There's the 54P.
Well, that's just a beautiful coin in general. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's creepy, man.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, Stoker. That's what I'll look like in a couple of years.
That upper lip is not normal. So that's the clash is from the eagle on the reverse. The wings. So sometimes you can look on the reverse. I don't know if this one would show it, but on some of them you can look around the wing tips and see bits of his face. Sometimes they're braided off, but
Yeah, that's an easy spot to break off too. It's just a height thing.
You can, oh, this one you can see the little bit of the outline of the portrait. You can see where it's actually coming into contact with the eagle.
Yeah, it needs to. I'll leave it.
is there a reverse pick?
That one?
Yeah, that one.
Am I behind or something?
And this is, I think it's a full, the 54 is a full bell line, I think.
Sick. Nice and stove.
There it is.
That one green?
And then the 54S is a little bit different than this one.
What one? What did that grade, Adam?
That's a 64 full bell lines.
Whew.
That's hot.
And I got it for like $35.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Affordable. Beautiful.
See,
I
now
mean,
we're bragging.
you're going to pay $30 though. See, PCGS, you're going to pay $30 to have them crack it out, put the variety, and then reholder it. But if you have them crack out at NGC, like if you go to NGC and have them do it, they don't charge you a reholder fee. They just charge you $15
For the variety.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Good
keep
Lord.
that in mind. If you're shopping around varieties, NGC is going to be a little bit cheaper to get it attributed.
Oh,
Now,
that's-
would they do that with a PCGS or annex holder?
No, you'll have to pay for the
Okay.
crossover, but if it's an NGC in an NGC slab, and they attribute that variety on the Variety Plus NGC page, then you just pay the $15 and that's it. I was actually kind of shocked one time. I said, "Why am I only paying like half?" And she's like, "Well, you don't pay for the reholder." I said, "Well, I wish PCGS would do this because it's just crazy."
Hey, I got a question for you. Do you is there a risk that, well, I guess if you do a crossover, they're going to regrade your coin. It may not come out. It may come out in your favor. It may not, huh?
But you could do a minimum grade, so that way, if it doesn't work out in your favor, they just send it back to you in the original slab that you sent it to.
Good point.
But I had an NGC. I don't know. I've shared it with you guys. That 54S over D nickel, and it was NGC Mint State 66, and I sent that to PCGS and had them cross it, and it crossed at Mint State 66.
Ah.
And I paid $60 for the coin.
Oh, wow.
For a $1,000 coin.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wow.
No.
Well done, sir.
Did you send somebody donuts or flowers or?
I feel bad sometimes. You feel bad, like, oh my God, what? These people, how are they missing these varieties? It's like that nickel, that Liberty Head I shared last week. It's just crazy. How do you miss it? How do you miss it?
Well, I was reading a story today that some dealers have made a lifetime of what they do, just breaking things out of holders and getting it redone, resubmitted.
I think a lot of it is that particularly with some of the older dealers, they just don't like to deal with. I mean, they don't like to mess with them or take the time.
The stuff that's easily liquidated.
Yeah, but that's a lot of money that you can make doing that. I mean, it's easy. I mean, yeah, it takes time. It's gonna take time to send it to the graders and have to wait on it to come back, and it's just, yeah, that's the pain in the butt. But if you ask me, it's worth it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Do we have the 54S on there too?
Yeah, let's see that.
That's the 54 there.
That's a good shot of that there.
Yeah, that's the 54P there.
It's like a saw blade.
But they're all a little different. Sometimes you got the clashing out of the nose, which that's an FS, usually FS 402. But some of the varieties are they're so expensive. Like the 53D, the 52D, FS 40, FS 401 on those two are they're expensive. I mean, I found one in the NGC Mint State 65 full bell lines. I paid like $70 for it, and I just sold it on Great Collections for $550.
Wow.
Cha-ching.
This is the 54S, so it's a little bit different, but
I need more coffee.
Now, do they have cherry picker designations for all of the, for every year, every mint mark?
It's kind of funny because some of them they do, and some, like, they don't recognize all of them. I've seen some new ones, and I'm like, should I just go ahead and buy it and then send it over to a specialist and have him attribute it, because they could be new varieties. I've just never done it. Yeah. I guess I could do it, but I see them all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of like those e-clashes on the Liberty Standing quarters. You know, there's a few years where cherry pickers will, you know, designate them, give them a number, and then there's other years where they don't. I've found about 3 of those 1923s, like I've got. Unfortunately, they don't designate that one.
I mean, you know, as long as you know, I take my phone, I do it on my phone. I'll go on the eBay and I'll pull up the pictures, and on my iPhone, I can, you know, you just take your fingers and zoom in, and as long as the photos are good enough, you can see the whole coin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what I do. And you know, as long as the seller has good photos, which the sellers I use usually do pretty good photos. And it was kind of funny. I saw them at the coin show one time in St. Louis, and I asked, I went up to their table and I said, "God, you guys got a lot of Franklins." And I looked at the name. I was like, "Oh, I cherry pick coins off eBay from you guys all the time." And they're like,
Oh, no.
"You do?" And I told them, and I said, "You guys miss all kinds of varieties. I've been finding all these, you know, Bugs Bunny varieties." And they're like, "You do?" And I said, "Yeah." And I just left and I walked away. I was like, "Oops." and I'm still cherry picking them off eBay from their page, so they're not.
They don't care.
To what I told them.
Must be.
This one was on the page. This is where I bought it. So both of them.
Nice. See, I've been hunting for another set of the Franklins that is kind of unique and not having a whole lot of luck. It's really tough, especially affordable ones, and that's the re-engraved proofs.
Yeah, and 1952 proof has a awesome Bugs Bunny. And it's been elusive to me. I haven't been able to find it yet.
But 52 is one of the re-engraved years too. It's got some of the hair kind of going from that little point at the very bottom, that little last 2 strands of hair. It kind of extends right to the back of the bust, and that's part of it. But the other one in 1950 is right around the bridge of his nose, and it's really cool. I'd love to have a set like that. That's a short set, my dream short set at the moment.
And Nichols, they have a bunch of re-engraved proofs on Jefferson's also.
Yeah.
And Lincoln has one 1953
and 1971 as well, I believe.
Yeah. So the 1953 Lincoln isn't really that valuable. It's pretty common, but some of those Nichols they're rare if you can find the re-engraved Nichols.
The 38, 39 proofs are tough. The 52 proof, I've got a decent one. I'm actually gonna have to get a second opinion on, because I think I'm seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing for the good one.
Very
on
nice.
the 52. But
You could always submit it to an Coin Q&A email, and us panel members will look at it for you and let you know.
I probably should go ahead and do that and let y'all pick it apart. Like for real, you know, that's.
I just decided today to restart another short set. Speaking of, I'm going to get some more BU silver roses. I had a set in my old set that I had to sell off.
Oh.
And they're just cool.
What I find amazing about tonight's stream is our talking subject tonight was about short sets, and by design, the coins that were featured in tonight's show all correspond to some type of short set, even even if it's for like the Bugs Bunny variety or die chips or clash marks and stuff like that. So just kind of seemed like it just all came together tonight, and it was really amazing.
Nothing wrong with keeping with the theme.
Yeah. Funny how that works out.
Jeff,
I don't know when things come together.
Jeff, do you have one loaded?
I do. Or is Amanda? Are you out?
She probably has two more, but let's do this. Let's do that one.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and pull that.
And then we'll get to the other two.
Give me just a moment here. I'll get that queued up.
Fired up.
Well, very nice, Adam. Thank you for sharing this one.
You're welcome.
Very cool.
And thanks for the tips too.
Yeah, for real.
We ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'll read this one. From Sean. Here is a coin that came out of a 1959 D roll that was originally had a ton of dirty black greasers from the mint left on the reverse of the coin. I saw part of the strike through, so I carefully removed the grease from the coin and was throttled when a D from United was revealed. I most certainly have had some luck with drop letters, finding 3 in a year's time.
Oh,
I was skeptical that they even existed, but they most certainly do. Have a look.
Oh, look at that color too.
Oh yeah, that you get to see the toning.
Oh, I see it already.
yeah. Golly, that sticks out.
Hello.
This C? Is that a C or O?
Big
It's
D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think.
Look, it's all the way up here on the corner on the A.
That is ridiculous.
Wow.
All right, Sean's fired.
So struck through.
Yeah, and look at that perfect match with the D in United and the D over here.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, that I am still hoping to find a drop letter, and I have not yet. So congratulations on that.
And legitimate drop letters will be infused into the coin, correct?
Well, struck through drop letter. I think we've actually seen something retained before as well, but it was kind of interesting. But yeah, so the grease filled the die, and that hardened and fell out, and then was struck through, leaving that impression. So yes.
If that piece falls out and the dies clash, you'll see that like that.
Nice pictures on these, by the way. These are pretty easy to traverse and get up close.
Yeah, it's good picks.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh, yeah, I know.
Beautiful.
The coin speaks for itself.
That's one way to get a whole pan of coin folks riled up.
It says, don't you wish you had me too?
Yeah. Well, as it's been said before, when the panel looks at a coin and we all go, huh. Yep. Congratulations. Beautiful example. Coin looks in phenomenal shape for something from 59. Now I want to break open my 59D. Look.
I was going to say this is one of those things that it's dangerous when I'm sitting on a lot of coins that I need to dump. I've got about I'm sitting on about $1,600 of the coins because I haven't been able to dump in a year now of coins that I've gone through, and because the bank won't let me in the lobby to go to the use the change machine. But it's one of these. I'm like, did I really look through everything? Should I go back through again?
Oh, I hate that feeling. Should I look at them again to make sure I didn't miss nothing?
I don't know how many. When I first started watching Sean, I don't know how many times Sean would post a video about something new, and then that would force me to go through the frickin' penny jar again.
Back through
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Do know the feeling, but that's phenomenal. And 3 in 1 year, that's triple phenomenal.
Yeah, that's.
I feel so bad for you, Jeff. I use the coin machine. All I have to do is make an appointment, and they let me use the coin machine.
Yeah,
and I'll
be fine. You heard my story last week when I finally. Last week after stream, when I was talking about the teller that I was having a conflict with, it's going to bring me great joy when I come in the door with the buckets.
my bank is so awesome. They actually, I sent in the money through the teller machine, and they ran a box of $50 out to me today.
Oh.
Yeah, I got to pick up a box tomorrow. $50.
I've never had that level of service before. That's awesome.
Now, my buy bank is wonderful. I mean, they are great. I love those tellers. I mean, they do a really good job. But my dump bank is a little bit of a different story. All right, that was the only one I had loaded up, guys.
And that was a last minute email today. That was like an hour before the show.
Yeah, Carl made sure that one got on. He was impressed with that. We made sure we took care of this one.
Little birdie told me it was coming. I just didn't know when. But yeah, I'm glad it came in. That's awesome.
Is that it for tonight's emails?
No, well, we got a couple more. Do you want to keep going?
We got a couple more. That's perfectly fine. I was just checking. I closed the list out because I wanted to make sure the fuzziness was not on my system where I was seeing stuff. So looks like Amanda has the next one ready.
All right, I'll read this one for you, Seamus. 1995 Lincoln Memorial sent anomaly in the 9 of the date. Hello again, panel. If there's time, I'd like your opinions on what looks to me like a die gouge in the first 9 of the date. I found 3 identical coins so far in the same roll. I have provided examples of all 3 coins here. Well, let's see them.
I was lip syncing right along as you were reading.
I was reading it in Carl's voice.
There you go.
I thought about reading it and interrupting the person reading it.
What's that 3 doing up there? Oh, well interest.
Huh.
Oh, another coin that makes us go. Huh.
Die gouge?
It's a kind of damn fire.
It's kind of.
Is that whole area raised? I'm sorry for interrupting.
It goes up over the 9. You can see it on the curve too. It's not just in the field. There's a closer picture amongst these.
Oh, no. So
I'll see a notch in the bottom of that one.
I mean, if it was a die chip, you would have expected that whole edge of the 9, the inside of that curve, to be gone.
Maybe it's working on it. And there's 2 coins that I'm showing here. They're numbered up in the left-hand corner. Coin number 1 will have a zoom in close on that 9, closer than what we just saw. There it is. So you can see it coming up over the raised part of the number.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Like a little flake that got folded onto it.
Huh.
And
I swear it looks like a notch in that one.
I found 3 coins like this.
I mean, it's so cleanly ovalish.
Did some sort of tool fall on the die right in that spot?
Maybe. You could tell us a story about it, I'm sure.
Oh, goodness.
Let me tell you how your coin ended up this way.
Well, it was 1995, Sheboygan, Michigan.
Huh. Yeah, I think you're right.
Wait,
Well,
About Sheboygan or die gouge?
no, I think I know who did it, Carl.
Oh, well, don't tell me. Keep
There
it
he
a
is.
surprise.
There.
That's the guy. I thought I recognized it. There's a resemblance in the eyes, I think.
Twirl, twist and twirl.
Yeah, if we can just scroll through the other photos of the other 2 coins, number 2 and 3, just to show that it's more than one occurrence.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I would think it's a little die gouge.
So there's coin number 2. And coin number 3 is the same zoom level, and it's nothing worth much of a premium, just an oddity to be wondered upon.
Yeah, I mean, if you found multiples in the same roll and everything is the same on them, then I would say that's just a die gouge, and it's just
Leafy looking one.
interesting.
Thanks for checking it out. Next. I always wish that my parents had named me next. I never have to wait in line.
How many of you guys have made up names at Starbucks when they want to call your name?
Who could afford to go to Starbucks? I collect coins. I don't have money at
Or
Starbucks.
any place, any restaurant, any place.
We got Tim Hortons one.
I tell them my name is Carl, and they say with a C or a K. And I said, I don't care. You're the one reading it.
Carl with 3 L's.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what I tell you, you're going to mess it up anyway.
I have pulled 3 silver quarters out of Starbucks in the space of about 5 years.
Nice. I'm not the only tip jar diver.
A little
I've had
trivia.
I've had an alias. My Starbucks alias is Fernando.
Pronounced. I'm gonna make up a new one.
You want
So
me to
you
read
need
this one?
Pedro and vote for me.
Yeah, go for it, Carl.
In 1995, Philadelphia, Lincoln Memorial Cent, stripes showing on reverse. Roll your eyes, shake your head, mumble under your breath. I have another. I can't even read that. I'm going to go full screen here and see if I can see it. I have another. something of 1995p Lincoln Memorial cents. It's a set. This time with strange stripes on the reverses. When I saw the first coin, my first thought was alloy mix problem, but then I found an identical coin with the same stripes in the same places. There appears to be texture to these. I think I meant to say no texture. Like that are flat discolorations. Pardon me, it's just blurry. I'm trying to read. Maybe the more expert eyes here can deduce the exact nature and cause of these stripes.
Oh, are we trading, sir?
Who wrote that?
I don't know.
I was going to say you wrote it.
Yeah. I was thinking he couldn't even read his own handwriting, and I'm like, wow.
It's like, wait, handwritten? No.
It's that fuzzy font.
Yeah, we got the stream that makes everyone feel like they're having a stroke all of a sudden.
It's the eyelash font. Yes. Okay, what
What are we looking at here?
We're looking for the reverse. This is coin number 1, and it'll be along the left side, the west side of the coin, and the stripes will go down through the left side of the memorial. I didn't do any close-ups because they almost disappear the closer you get. And now that we have these fuzzy pictures, we're probably not going to see anything at all.
No, we might have to discuss this.
I think I see them southeast from the E and the I and United.
Yeah, they go from the northwest to the southeast.
Yep, and they're going through that column 1 and column 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Yada's got it right. Feeder.
Yeah,
bingo.
I see these a lot on Jefferson nickels. As I go through those a lot, I'll run across one where it's just got it's kind of almost like a thick but flat die gouge through it.
You see this a lot on wheat cents too, on the reverse especially.
Yeah,
big time.
So the die, the little in the striking chamber, you have the different dies that are there, the anvil die and the hammer die, and then you have in this case there's not going to be a reeded die on the edge, but there's a collar, and so when that coin comes in, as a feeder finger will bring it in and drop it off and then carry it off and strikes, right? And that thing can damage or scratch up the die, scraping across the surface. And then you get these linear lines, usually diagonal on the coin, that appear this way.
The ones on these coins don't seem to have much texture, or they're not raised very far. Like it was a very shallow impression on the die, like it was struck through a feather or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Can we see the coin number 2? See if those are any better, Amanda? Kind of disappointed with the stream.
Those fingers are going so fast, it's like acting like polishing it and wearing it down at the same time. It's all about timing and tolerances.
It's a little more visible in the bay number 1 there.
No, not roller rich.
But feeder fingers is the conclusion on this?
Aye.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I need to know.
As opposed to chicken fingers. Sorry.
I was sitting here trying to think how a feather got inside the machine that it kind of makes sense because some of the mint workers do sleep on the job and that's how stuff gets messed up. So they might have had like a goose down pillow.
Well, I mean, look at some of these RPMs. It's like they're one-eyed on their way into work. You know?
Yeah, we had some other mentions like roller marks. I don't know. Those are usually like circular around the coin, right? And then someone else said scrubbed. So I guess they're talking about polishing of the die. I don't know. I would expect to see smaller lines than that on die polishing. And not quite so linear. No. Very cool. Thank you for sending those in, Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Thanks for checking them out.
Always.
My favorite was the drop. My favorite tonight was the drop letter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most interesting one out of the bunch was the drop letter, because you just don't see drop letters a lot. I like the Bugs Bunnies. I always have.
I don't look at the backs of 59Ds much either.
I really
Clash
enjoy
marks always get me excited when you find some good clash marks on coins. Hey, I ended up over here now. I used to be over here. Now I'm over here.
Man,
Interesting.
It's called
Well,
a misplaced Eric.
all the coins for tonight.
That's all we got for tonight.
Sure was some interesting conversation. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Got some great ideas.
very much.
Well, thank Adam for dropping by. That was great.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so
Good.
Great job.
Yep.
One clip.
We give a shout out to all of our mods in our chat tonight for taking care of chat and helping with questions and helping people out there. Our panel members, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule and joining us tonight and going through these coins and having adult discussions about them.
I don't know what you're talking
Thank you,
Eric,
Blue Ridge, Silverhound, Ida, Cindelicious.
Adam, thank you very much for being a guest member tonight. Always a pleasure to have more people on the panel, and when we have guests and with knowledge, it's always appreciated. So thank you for taking the time and joining us.
Yeah. I'd like to come back sometime. So.
Oh, definitely.
That would be cool.
Please. Fresh new blood is always a good thing to have.
Oh, yeah. You'll be sorry.
Some of those Franklins probably suck your blood, you know.
Yeah.
Some of them, man.
All right. Keep sending us those submissions into the info@livecoinqa.com. We appreciate everything that we get. We get hundreds of emails a week. Sorry, not everything can make the show, but we do respond to the emails to let you know. So keep sending in your questions and your pictures. Join us on the Coin Q&A Facebook page if you are not already a member. Once again, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We'll be back next week, 7:30 Central Time, same Coin Q&A channel, and we'll see you next week. Y'all have a good week. Be safe. Be good to each other.
You too. Good night, all.
Good luck in your searching, everybody. Have fun.
I'm
Good
getting
night.
it.